The buzz around the Cowboys facility has taken on a different tone lately, the kind that doesn't come from highlight reels or tactical breakdowns, but from hushed conversations in hallways and knowing looks exchanged by people who have seen this league long enough to recognize when something is boiling under the surface. The rumor making the rounds is that head coach Brian Shottenheimer, a man usually associated with measured answers and controlled intensity, finally let the mask slip in a closed-door moment that has since leaked into the collective imagination of the fan base. According to whispers, he didn't just criticize effort or execution. He allegedly called out what he described as two locker room cancers, making it clear that his patience had reached its limit and that decisive action was coming. This kind of language, even when shared privately, tends to echo loudly once it escapes, because it signals a shift from diplomacy to confrontation. For a franchise like the Cowboys, where every word is magnified, the idea that the head coach feels compelled to draw such a hard line suggests internal dynamics far more complex than any playbook. People close to the situation speculate that this wasn't an impulsive outburst, but rather the culmination of weeks of frustration, small incidents stacking up until silence was no longer an option. In the world of professional football, locker rooms thrive on trust and shared purpose. And when a coach hints that those foundations are compromised, it opens the door to endless theories about who might be undermining the collective. As the story circulates, the intrigue deepens because no names have been confirmed, and that vacuum invites imagination to run wild. Some insiders hint that these alleged issues might involve veteran voices who no longer align with the direction Schottenheimer wants to take, while others believe younger personalities could be clashing with established leadership. The phrase locker room cancer is one of the harshest labels in sports culture, implying behavior that spreads quietly, affecting morale and accountability. When fans hear that a coach is prepared to eliminate such influences, they immediately picture trades, benchings, or sudden disappearances from the rotation. The speculation feeds itself, especially in a market that lives and breathes every Cowboys headline. Analysts on talk shows speak in coded language, saying things like changes are coming or accountability will be enforced without ever confirming the source. The idea that Schottenheimer, now carrying the full weight of being the head coach, would choose this moment to assert control fits a familiar narrative arc in the league. Coaches often reach a crossroads where they decide whether to bend to personalities or reshape the culture entirely. According to the rumor, this declaration was less about anger and more about clarity, a message that no individual, regardless of past contributions, is bigger than the standard he is trying to establish. That kind of stance can either fracture a locker room or galvanize it, and that uncertainty is what keeps everyone watching closely. What makes this rumor even more compelling is how it contrasts with Schottenheimer's public persona. He has long been viewed as a football lifer, someone who understands the rhythms of the league and the importance of relationships. To imagine him speaking in such stark terms suggests a breaking point that fans rarely get to witness. The locker room, often romanticized as a brotherhood, is also a workplace full of egos, contracts, and ambitions. And when a coach hints that something toxic is festering, it reframes every sideline interaction fans have seen. People start replaying press conferences in their minds, looking for subtle signs, a tightened jaw, a carefully chosen word. The rumor mill suggests that this moment was not meant for public consumption, which ironically gives it more credibility among those who thrive on behind-the-scenes drama. In professional football, leaks often come from individuals with their own motivations, whether to apply pressure or to shape narratives. The idea that this particular quote surfaced implies that someone wanted the world to know that Schottenheimer is done tolerating distractions. That message alone can alter behavior, even if no immediate moves are announced. Players, aware that trust may have been broken, begin to look over their shoulders, and that psychological shift can be as impactful as any roster change. The Cowboys' history adds another layer to this speculation, because the franchise has seen its share of internal conflicts over the years. Fans remember moments when strong personalities clashed with authority, sometimes resulting in dramatic exits, other times in uneasy coexistence. This rumor declaration feels like it belongs to that lineage, a turning point that people will later point to as the moment everything changed. The phrase, "I will eliminate the two," is particularly striking because it suggests inevitability rather than possibility. In a league driven by performance metrics and salary cap math, elimination can take many forms, and each possibility carries its own ripple effects. Teammates might rally around those under fire or distance themselves to protect their own standing. The coaching staff, meanwhile, would be forced to align fully behind their leader or risk being perceived as part of the problem. The rumor paints Shottenheimer as someone willing to absorb criticism in the short term to achieve long-term cohesion. That kind of resolve can redefine a team's identity, but it also invites scrutiny, especially if the moves that follow are controversial. Until clarity emerges, every practice clip and sideline shot becomes evidence in the court of public opinion. Another aspect fueling the chatter is the timing within the broader arc of the season, without referencing specific outcomes. Teams often experience emotional highs and lows that test unity, and it is during these stretches that underlying tensions surface. The rumors suggest that Schottenheimer saw patterns he could no longer ignore, moments where individual agendas overshadowed collective goals. Fans who pride themselves on reading between the lines have begun dissecting body language, wondering who might fit the description of a disruptive influence. Social media amplifies these guesses, turning speculation into perceived fact within hours. The dangerous part of such narratives is that they can unfairly target players who have done nothing wrong, yet the allure of insider drama is hard to resist. The Cowboys, as always, sit at the center of this storm, their brand ensuring that even unconfirmed whispers feel monumental. If the coach truly believes that removing two figures will cleanse the environment, it speaks to a belief in the power of culture over talent alone. That philosophy resonates with some fans and alarms others, depending on who they fear might be on the chopping block. The absence of official confirmation keeps the rumor alive, breathing, and evolving with every new comment or non-comment from the organization. In the end, what captivates the audience is not just the content of the alleged statement, but what it represents emotionally. A head coach drawing a line in the sand taps into the primal drama of leadership and rebellion, loyalty and betrayal. The Cowboys' locker room, usually shielded from view, suddenly feels exposed, its harmony questioned. Whether this rumor proves accurate or exaggerated, it has already achieved something powerful by shifting the conversation away from schemes and toward human dynamics. Fans are reminded that football is played by people, not just numbers on a stat sheet, and that managing personalities can be as challenging as drawing up the perfect play. Schottenheimer, in this narrative, emerges as a figure at a crossroads, determined to assert authority even if it means difficult choices. The idea that he would label two individuals as cancers underscores the seriousness with which he views the situation. Until tangible actions confirm or deny these whispers, the story will continue to grow, shaped by hopes, fears, and the endless appetite for drama that surround America's most scrutinized team. The second wave of speculation takes the conversation deeper, moving beyond the shock of the words themselves and into the potential consequences that such a mindset could bring. If Brian Schottenheimer truly believes that there are two corrosive elements within his locker room, the implication is that every decision from this point forward is influenced by that belief. Coaches in this league are often judged not only by wins and losses, but by their ability to manage strong personalities and maintain a unified front. The rumor suggests that Schottenheimer is prepared to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term stability, a gamble that has defined many coaching tenures before him. Fans and commentators alike begin to imagine scenarios where surprising roster moves signal a cultural reset. Even without names attached, the tension becomes palpable because everyone understands that silence from the organization does not equal inaction. Players may start adjusting their behavior, trying to align more visibly with the coach's expectations, while agents quietly assess the landscape. The locker room, once a place of relative certainty, becomes a space where every interaction is potentially loaded with meaning. This atmosphere can either sharpen focus or breed anxiety, depending on how it is handled, and the rumor implies that Shottenheimer is willing to accept that risk. As the narrative unfolds, comparisons to other teams and eras naturally emerge. Observers recall moments when decisive leadership transformed fractured groups into cohesive units, as well as cautionary tales where heavy-handed approaches backfired. The Cowboys' unique spotlight magnifies these stakes because any perceived misstep is amplified. The idea of eliminating two influences raises questions about whether the issues are truly isolated or symptomatic of deeper problems. Some speculate that the coach's statement might be a strategic leak, a way to send a message without direct confrontation. Others believe it reflects genuine frustration that could lead to swift, dramatic changes. In either case, the rumor positions Shottenheimer as a central figure in a power struggle that fans rarely get to see so clearly. The balance between authority and empathy is delicate, and labeling individuals as cancers suggests that the line of empathy may have already been crossed. This perception alone can reshape how players view their coach, either reinforcing respect or planting seeds of resentment. The uncertainty keeps everyone guessing, which is exactly what sustains the story's momentum. Another layer of intrigue comes from the historical weight of the Cowboys brand, where leadership decisions often become part of franchise lore. Fans who have followed the team for decades see echoes of past turning points, moments when a strong stance either restored order or accelerated decline. The rumor of Schottenheimer's words taps into that collective memory, inviting supporters to project their own interpretations onto the present. Some applaud the idea of a no-nonsense approach, believing that accountability has been lacking. Others worry that such rhetoric could alienate key contributors, creating fractures that are difficult to repair. In the modern NFL, where player empowerment is more pronounced than ever, coaches must navigate these waters carefully. The suggestion that two individuals are beyond reconciliation implies a willingness to confront that reality head-on. Whether this is a calculated move or an emotional reaction is impossible to know from the outside, but the mere possibility fuels endless debate. Every press conference answer is scrutinized for hints. Every absence from a practice raises eyebrows. The rumor transforms ordinary moments into potential clues, keeping the fan base engaged at an almost obsessive level. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The emotional resonance of this story also stems from the human element of conflict resolution. Professional athletes, despite their public personas, are deeply affected by how they are perceived within their workplace. Being labeled, even indirectly, as a negative influence can have profound psychological effects. The rumors suggest that Schottenheimer is prioritizing the collective over individual feelings, a stance that resonates with traditional coaching philosophies. Yet, in a league increasingly attentive to mental health and communication, such an approach can be controversial. Supporters argue that clarity and firmness are necessary, while critics caution against creating an environment of fear. This tension reflects broader conversations within sports culture, making the Cowboys situation feel like a microcosm of the league itself. The speculation invites fans to take sides, not just on who might be involved, but on what kind of leadership they believe is effective. Schottenheimer, willingly or not, becomes a symbol in that debate, his rumored words carrying weight beyond the confines of one locker room. As days pass without official confirmation, the story refuses to fade, instead evolving with each new interpretation. Some fans begin to see potential benefits, imagining a leaner, more focused team emerging from the turmoil. Others brace for fallout, expecting media storms and divided allegiances. The idea that two individuals could be identified as sources of discord simplifies a complex reality, yet it is precisely that simplicity that makes the rumor compelling. It offers a narrative of cause and effect, of problems with clear solutions, even if real life is rarely so straightforward. The Cowboys organization, known for its meticulous control of messaging, allows the speculation to breathe, perhaps understanding that uncertainty can serve as motivation. Players aware of the rumor might push themselves harder, striving to prove they are part of the solution rather than the problem. In that sense, the alleged statement functions as a catalyst, whether or not it was ever spoken exactly as reported. Ultimately, this rumor endures because it touches on fundamental themes that resonate with sports fans everywhere. Leadership under pressure, the challenge of maintaining unity, and the courage to make unpopular decisions are narratives as old as competition itself. The image of Brian Schottenheimer drawing a hard line, vowing to remove what he sees as harmful influences, is powerful precisely because it is unresolved. It leaves room for imagination, debate, and anticipation. Until concrete actions clarify the situation, the story remains suspended, a mirror reflecting the hopes and fears of a passionate fan base. Whether it ends in vindication or regret, this chapter in the Cowboys' ongoing saga reminds everyone that behind the helmets and jerseys lies a complex web of relationships, where words spoken in frustration can echo far beyond the walls in which they were uttered. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.